Today I'm here with Grendel. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great, great. It's great to have you. And I want to start off by saying you've become a very successful and popular band in the whole goth industrial genre. How has that been possible?
20 years of hard work. I mean, hold on a sec. I'm just going to turn the volume down just a touch. Yeah, how? I mean, humble beginnings, and it's not like we're topping Billboard charts these days, but I mean, we're doing all right in our niche, and I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean, started out in 2000s. That's when we did our first shows. So I kind of consider that the official start when the first demo was released. Yeah, I mean, we did for a few years. We did small shows, then got picked up by artists like I think one of the first actual tours we did was with Terminal Choice and Blood Angle. So Chris Paul really gave us that first break, which was amazing. Then we were doing shows with XPQ21, with God, it's going a while back. So I was trying to remember who we toured with at the time. I mean, I think
that's awesome. That's awesome. They said Chris Paul because he's one of my favorite artists. So that's really cool.
Oh, no way, nice. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. Yeah, very professional. Learned a lot, very quickly from him. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an eye opener, especially being able to tour with a band like Blood Angle, where there's a lot of show involved, a large show element, and yeah, it was good. It's good, and we in about 2005 we got on the road with the Shadows in the Dark, who were really big at the time, and they're still big in Germany and all over. By that time, they Snuff Machinery and songs like that were going. They were big. They were becoming staple tracks in clubs. So it was a great time. We toured with them, and yeah, I mean, over the years, just building on that, and releasing more and more. Up till Harsh Generation, where we're really, ended up spearheading that whole what people call electro now, which I still don't like. I still think it's a terrible name for a genre. For me, it's always still harsh EBM or harsh industrial music. Yeah, and as you know, I mean, kind of evolved from there.
And your new recent albums, it seems you stepped away a little bit from the harsher vocals and music, and I was wondering what kind of influenced that?
Yeah, I mean, age. I mean, growing up, I haven't always only been into that kind of music. I mean, these days, I can't say I'm into that kind of music anymore. I'll still occasionally pop on some older stuff, some Bombskurt and some older Suicide Commando, Yellwork, you name it, like the sort of 90s artists, early 2000s. I kind of felt it was a bit of a dead end. When you're doing that kind of vocal, you can't really express very much with it. It is what it is, and my interests lie more elsewhere these days, and I've kind of gone back to what has always been an inspiration for me, and what has always excited me, and trying to encapsulate that into what Grendel is now, while retaining the essence of my music. So yeah, at its core, it still is Grendel, except it's taken on a slightly different direction from where I was at. And you got to remember, I mean, I started doing this when I was very young. I mean, I was 18 when the first album came out, and at the time, I was one of the youngest people in that genre. I remember doing our first show in the US and having to have the little cross on my hands, to get in and do the gig. So you can imagine I've come a long way since then, and what was relevant to me at 18 or even in my 20s at the time when I released Harsh Generation just isn't relevant to me now. It's, yeah, we all evolve.
But you still play the older material live, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, we still love playing them, and you know, I mean, people love them, and you know, we're not doing the shows, you know, just for us. You know, it's not like a masturbatory thing. You know, I mean, we're doing it for the audience, and those are the songs they want to hear. I think every band has that, has those songs. Their own, you know, final countdowns, I always call them. You know, like. You have to play those songs, and you know, I mean, sometimes you get sick and tired of them, but yeah, I mean, you can't deny that, and you can't not be proud of that. You know, that people want to hear a certain song you've done and be thankful for it. You know, great.
Yeah. And I see you've toured all over the world, played all the major festivals. Is there anywhere you haven't played really yet that you still want to?
Quite a lot. There's well, a lot of Eastern Europe we haven't explored. Probably be a while before we explore it at this point, sadly. Yeah, where else? We haven't been to some of the other, but like Baltic countries. There are a couple there, but I'm not sure if there's really that big of a market there for that kind of music. And South America is somewhere where we haven't been yet. We've been to Mexico, which of course isn't South America, but you know, it's almost like a sort of gateway to that. And we'd definitely be keen to go there and you know, go to Brazil, Argentina, Chile. I know we've got a huge fan bases there who've been trying to get us over for a while, but you know, things aren't always that simple. And New Zealand. New Zealand and Iceland are two places where I've always wanted to go. Sadly, I haven't had the opportunity yet, but hopefully that'll change.
I see you got added to a big festival coming up in Seattle, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Yeah, we played with the we worked with the Mechanismus organization before, and that's always been a joy. And I'm just blown away by the lineup of this festival. I mean, it's a week. It's I think it's even longer than Treffen is, and the lineup is amazing. I mean, there's a lot of artists who I've been wanting to see anyway. There's and also a lot of artists who I know on personally, and it'd be great to catch up with them. And I know a lot of people that'll be there. So, yeah, I'm really psyched about that. And especially because it's in a new venue. For years, it was, I'm trying to think of the name of the venue, it was an upstairs place. And it was quite small. The backstage was about the size of a broom cupboard. And now this new venue is going to be huge. It's got a hotel attached to it and all kinds of stuff. So it's proper high tech, probably one of the best venues we will have played in the US up to now. It's really of a high standard, so that's something I'm excited about as well.
Awesome. And I want to ask, are you currently working on any new music?
I am, but at the same time, I'm also I'm getting more involved in the production side of things. So I'm producing, mixing, mastering for other artists, and that's taking up a lot, if not all, of my spare time. Or I say spare time, all of my time. And I'm trying to desperately to find the time to dedicate to Grendel as well, you know, and other projects that I'm working on. So there's definitely material coming. Right now, you know, but as I'm sure you understand, like, you know, Grendel or things like, I mean, I'm not saying we're not successful, but a band in general is very difficult to make a stable career out of. People think it's very easy to you know, to make a living of it, and yeah, it can be, but what if your genre goes out of you know, isn't in vogue anymore. If people just decide that, you know, they're not into you anymore, that kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't form a good basis or a stable basis for the future, unless you are an artist who has Billboard topping charts, you're selling platinum, you know, or whatever. Then you've got enough to put on the side, and you can build up, you know, you can put money aside for the future and all of that. But I think what we're seeing with most artists now, they are building up their own businesses and all of that. So right now, you know, my priority is that, and that is going really well. But yeah, I definitely also want to keep Grendel going, and also new projects I'm working on. So.
Do you think it'll be maybe a full-length album or an EP, or you're not sure yet where it's going?
I think we're going to go single-based. I don't think there is a lot of future in doing full albums. I do like full albums. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love concept albums and all of that. And at a certain point, I would love to do that again. But time-wise and just the business model these days, the whole business isn't geared towards releasing albums or concept albums. It's geared towards releasing singles, because you constantly have to remain in the limelight and release stuff quickly. Spotify as well isn't geared towards albums. It's all about one-off songs, and I think a lot of the crowd have adapted to that now. So yeah, we're definitely going for singles.
Interesting you say that, because most of the bands that I've talked to recently also taking a similar approach, same approach to releasing just singles each time.
Yeah, I think it's the healthiest business model to adapt these days. Daniel has definitely been very smart with that from aesthetic perfection, and you know, has definitely had his ear to the ground when it came to that. And that has been an inspiration, seeing how he's worked and released a single every month. Not that I would be able to. He dedicates all his time. He funnels it all into aesthetic perfection, and that's his choice. For me personally, that just isn't viable. But it is easier to build around my own schedule, and ensure that I can release stuff regularly. So yeah. I know for a lot of people out there, because you know, we're coming to a point where a lot of the artists out there, they have obligations in their life. You know, they're getting families, they're you know, maybe building any kind of career besides their music, and we've got to keep that ball rolling. So it all works out.
Yeah, I agree. That's inspiring what Daniel's done with that 12 songs in 1 year each month. And I think videos and visuals are pretty important too. Yeah,
he's working with some very, very talented people who I'm very fortunate to know as well, and keen to work with, of course. Yeah, it's been inspiring and impressive. I mean, it's rare that somebody is that productive in their music and is that dedicated to what they do. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, if people want to look you up online, find your music on social media, how do they do that?
They can go to Instagram. That's where I'm most active. That's GRNDL HQ on Instagram. We're on Facebook as well. A lot of stuff gets ported to that, and also for gigs and events and that kind of thing. You know, there's a good amount of discourse on there regarding gigs and new releases and that kind of thing. So that's a good place to go for a bit of discourse directly with me, and you know, I'll respond to messages and all of that there, as I do on Instagram as well. Yeah, we have Twitter accounts. That's often, you know, a lot of information from both funneled onto that, so it's a good like central space to follow what I'm doing. And otherwise, the website, of course, that is grendel-hq.com, I think. It's been a while since I looked it up. But yeah, if you Google Grendel bands, you know, that comes up as one of the first results. Yeah, I'd say that those would be the best places to keep track of what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, it was great having you and talking with you, and everybody look him up.
Cheers. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And for everyone watching, I've linked his music in the video description, so check it out.